Taking a live look now at Soldier Field, which may not be the Bears' home for much longer. But right now, the same group of people who stopped Hollywood icon George Lucas from building a museum on Chicago's lakefront is now pushing the Bears to find a different spot for the team's proposed domed stadium that will likely be near Soldier Field, somewhere along the lakefront. Instead, the group Friends of the Park wants a stadium built here at the old, seemingly doomed Michael Reese Hospital site in Bronzeville. It's a great space. Was going to house the Olympic Village for the ill-fated, never-happened Olympics here. The group argues the site offers accessible location, historic neighborhood without disrupting the lakefront parkland. That's what they were all about. The Burnham Plan, we all know what that is. The park is for the people, yada, yada. And it was a great thing that they came up with many, many centuries ago. So here to talk about it, our friend Mark Carman from CHGO Bears show. Mark, welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
Brad, good to be here. A lot of moving parts. I'm going to call it exciting.
Okay. I'm supposed to say the moving parts thing. That's the news. I'm the news guy supposed to say, whoa, a lot of moving parts. That's what we brought in you. Gosh, what are you, the anchor here? All right, so we got a lot of moving parts here, Mark. But you have been maybe an OG when it comes to keep the Bears in Chicago. You didn't like the Arlington Heights thing. You want to keep them in Chicago. I mean, obviously, I think that's what most Chicagoans think, or any fan who believes that their namesake of their team should be in their namesake city. So, where do you think this is going? What do you think this is sounding like here?
So it's tough to say. I mean, are they actually going to be able to work something out with the city? I mean, the Bears are saying they're going to put up $2 billion, so that's $2 billion of 4. Where's the other $2 billion coming from? Of course, and they bought the land in Arlington Heights. But when you're talking about the Friends of the Park people, what's different between the Lucas Museum and what the Bears are saying? They're going to tear down Soldier Field. There's going to be 20% more of park space. They're only going to leave the columns there. So they are, in essence, beautifying the lakefront while they're also building a stadium there. So, I don't know if the parks people want to tear down Soldier Field on their own or just leave it there for random soccer and concerts. But, I mean, I would think that would be fairly appealing.
Yeah.
And Bronzeville, that's fine with me, too. My whole contention is that the Chicago Bears belong in Chicago. I'm also, listen, I didn't want the Cubs to leave Wrigley Field. If I could rewind back time, they would have renovated Chicago Stadium and not build the United Center. That was the greatest building on earth for those of us in that era. Yeah. So this is not exactly that, but I got a little romantic side to me here, Brad. Arlington Heights, that's fine for me to go out and see friends with kids and play softball in some league back in the day, but I don't want to go out there to see the Bears play. I'd like to see them play in Chicago.
Yeah, and I think your added park space thing is a huge dimension here. What do you think the odds are? For some reason, I feel like Reinsdorf and the McCaskies should be playing footsie here. Like, they both want the same thing. Reinsdorf would catapult forward if he had a view of a lake. I think part of what Soldier Field brings is its beautification. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful place. It's beautiful for camera shots. You want to show off the city. That's what the whole sale was with this NASCAR race. You just show wide shots at Soldier Field all day, right? What about these two playing footsie?
The problem, though, is that they're going to be two separate stadiums. You're not going to get the same thing. Mm-hmm. And, look, the Bears have come up and said, we'll spend $2 billion. The White Sox are asking for $2 billion.
Yeah.
So would Jerry leave? Is he going to go to Nashville? He met with the mayor. I don't think that's his ultimate goal, but there's also, there's always long been rumors that when Jerry passes, he's told his kids to sell the Sox. So are they just trying to, get the stadium so they can have the most value that he can possibly pass along? I'm not sure what the end game is here, but I'm sure that if the state of Illinois is going to give the White Sox $2 billion to build, in the 78, they'll take it. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to see the White Sox leave. But I also, I'd like to be fair to me and you, Brad, and everybody else out there who are paying taxes and whatnot. It shouldn't be, come on, billionaires should be able to figure this out.
Yeah.
In which the Bears seem to be a lot more creative right now than the White Sox in doing that.
That's a very good point here, and I don't like subsidizing billionaires either. Like you said, especially when he tells the kiddies, hey, get out of town with at least that one team when I'm done with it, or at least you dump it. So the Bears have been making some moves in free agency. Let's switch gears here, signing a new running back along with some other pieces. Simone Biles' husband, that's what we're going to call him now, although he does have a name. It's like Taylor Swift's boyfriend, who's also good. So what do you make of the move so far? Anything else?
Well, look, they're doing fine and filling out around the roster, and DeAndre Swift's familiar with the division. The running back they brought in, he was a Lion, and then an Eagle, and Bayer, the safety, fills in for Eddie Jackson. And look, two tight ends, someone to pair with Cole Kmet makes sense too. But as far as big splashes here go, here, Brad, we haven't seen it. Somebody else to get to the quarterback.
Okay, let's go to that right now.
Yesterday with the Texans.
Let's go to that right now. Let's go to that right now. What are they doing with Fields? What's your call? What are they doing?
Okay, Justin is going to get traded for a late round pick, and no one's going to be happy about it, and it sucks. That's my take.
Jeez, oh Pete, you sound like a Lions fan. Just gearing up for disappointment, 60 years and counting. No, okay, Mark Carman, but he brings it real. We appreciate you, friend. Thanks for coming on. We know you've been doing a heck of a lot in the podcast. It's a great podcast, informative. CHGO Bears. Find them on YouTube, where they're also, and the allchgo.com. Mark, thanks.
Anytime, Brad.
Talk to you soon.